Right, Mark Crossfield here, answering your questions on my Q&A channel. It's my second channel, it's the same person, but I'm answering your questions. That's all I'm doing. You ask me questions in the comments and other places on my social channels, and I'll answer as many as I can. Great question here. What is the importance of having 3 shots with every wedge? With 3 or 4 wedges in the bag, is there too much of an overlap that can cause confusion? I don't want to go full stat hole with this, but are there gains to be had with multiple yardages that can be hit? Good question. So this is such personal preference to a certain extent, and you need to try and measure your ideas. I have 2 wedges and a chipper, and then I have a pitching wedge. So I'm using 1 wedge, this is my 52, and I'm going to be hitting it multiple distances. So from flat out to chipping around the green to little, oh, it's a line ball, 2 little 74-yard pitches there, and I'm going to try and find my distance. The reason I only have 2 wedges is I like the simplicity of learning multiple shots with the same bounce, the same grind, and just 2 lofts. Like, it's less data for me to try and do that with 3 or 4 wedges, which definitely start to overlap, and it almost gives me too much choice. With limited time to practice, I quite like doing it just with 2 clubs. And my 52 here, I'll use it from multiple distances, even down to little ones off the green where I want to use a lower approaching shot and I want to use the thicker sole and just run it up there 32 yards, that one. So yeah, I am going to be trying to find different distances but with only a few wedges. And the other reason I do that is I pack the top of my bag. I have 2 hybrids, I have a freeword. I like that end to be full of options because that's the bit where I'm losing most of my shots. Now the flip side to this, where you need to test for yourself, is that there is some trains of thought, which I agree with, is that golfers are worse if they're hitting in between shots. They're better if they're hitting the club that goes the number. So think about, you know, when you get 140 out and that's, say, my pitching wedge number, I love it, great, that's I can just hit my pitching wedge. 147, 151, that's like, whoa, soft 9, hard wedge. I'm now having to make decisions and play shot and field distances, possibly harder. So by having more wedges and having less gaps, you know, just stock shots with a wedge and then filling in the little bits, for some people might be better. People who want full shots, they want to hit more flat out shots or less of those kind of feely little in between ones. So we're working out what suits your bag and style of play there is going to be the most important factor for choosing. So I don't think there's a right and wrong in this. I think there is more of a make your bag work for you. You know, I would definitely agree that hitting your number with each club is going to be slightly on the easier side, but then if it makes you sacrifice other clubs that you use at other parts of your bag, so you can't have as many hybrids or what have you, then again you need to maybe look at how you play your course and how many of those shots you're having compared to others and work out where you could really make the gains. And then the other reason that I like players at least to try and have the skill of playing different shots with wedges, so a high one, a low one, a medium one, a flat out, a standard height, whatever, is that sometimes the situations just dictate that you do need more creativity than what the bag of wedges or a bag of clubs can deliver. You know, there'll be a situation where I want to hit my 52, but I want to go in even lower, but I want to use this bounce, and I'm feeling confident with this club, so I'm going to hit like a little drawy, almost running up the slope one. There might be options where it's a bit of a duffy lie, and I love the fat sole on this one, so I'm going to use that, open it up, add loft, but employ the thicker sole for the situation. So having all those tools in the toolbox might just allow you in situation to have a few more answers. And that's one of the common problems that I see with amateur golfers. They try to fix this route, so have the correct setup, where they haven't really got the toolbox with any of the clubs, lots or few, in their bag, where your better players have that bigger toolbox. And when we get in these curveball situations that we're always going to get in on the course, where just your standard lofts and bounces and lies just don't quite add up to the right shot, that's when you need to be able to hit these variations. It's a great way of practicing, it's a great way of learning. See which one works for you. I'm 2 wedges and a chipper. So really I'm 2 wedges that I'm playing with, where I used to be almost 4. And they were definitely crossing over for me. But if you're somebody who just likes flat out shots and you've got enough wedges to kind of fit as many of those gaps, don't use my technique, use the one that suits you. And that's the point, it's got to suit your style of play. Kind of answers the questions, kind of ducks away from it. As with most golf questions, you need to do the discovery. Hopefully that gives you 2 roads to go down and see which one takes you home. Thanks for watching.